we're going to go ahead and welcome our first trainee today. And I'm going to just go in the order in which they got their jobs. We're going to go ahead and bring in here Mohammed. So it's Ahmed, not Mohammed, sorry. Ahmed, he is our second trainee that we successfully trained and placed in the job market from Canada. And he's here today to tell us about his own story, how he got here. Let me bring him here on the spotlight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just join hands and bring in Ahmed here today. All right. Oh, right.
There we go, Ahmed.
Ahmed, welcome. All the way from Canada. Is it Toronto or where is that?
Yeah, now in Toronto. We call it Toronto, not Toronto.
Okay.
Toronto.
So, for your information, Ahmed is all the way from batch 8. This is some of the things that we do here. We know that we don't quit. And he's an example of someone that has actually gone through all odds. Most of his classmates that have not gotten jobs would have already given up by now, but he's here today to testify, to show that at the end of the day, if you don't give up, you will end up securing the job that you're doing. So, Ahmed, how are you actually doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm very fine. Happy New Year to you all. And thank you for having me. I'm excited tonight.
Thank you for not giving up, and thank you for believing in the process. I would like to hear from you. How has been your journey? I mean, you are here today as a senior DBA joining the six-figure family. So how does it feel? How are you? Tell me more about that.
I'm really excited. I feel on top of the world. I feel fulfilled. And of course, nothing can be more better than feel fulfilled and feel belonging. Yes, it's a rough, I wouldn't say it's a smooth journey. It has been a rough one, but at the end of the day, there will always be light at the end of the tunnel, provided you don't give up. I actually started 2019, and a friend of mine talked to me about KiawiTech. If Emmanuel is here, is listening, the whole story started from him. I don't think he is aware of that. Emmanuel got in touch with a friend of mine got in touch with Emmanuel, and Emmanuel talked to my friend, and my friend talked to that. My friend is called Segun Segbenu. I'm sure you are aware of that.
Segun. Okay.
Yeah. So when I got to Canada, he just called me and talked to me about it. By the way, Segun is such a very good. He does a lot of marketing. He have a lot of marketing strategy. Actually, it's coming from a marketing background. So because he market for Nestle, so he talked to me about it. And of course, the greatest fear of every one of us should be, I don't have a IT background. How can I cope with this? And he couldn't convince me more until I spoke with you that year, doctor. I say, Ahmed, don't bother about yourself. Just go to YouTube, start, watching a lot of YouTube's videos because the class has already started. So I waited 2020. Then we started. So it was quite rough because that time most of my classmates are now aware of the fact that during that period I was battling with my immigration status here in Canada. It was tough, and I'm here with my family. So it was very, very tough. But I kept on pushing, kept on going to the end of the program. Then it's becoming, that was when we realized, hang on, this thing it's not about group, it's not about class alone, it's bottled down on you yourself. What have you been able to achieve during your class? What have you been able to acquire? What have you been able to learn during your class? These are the things that will land the job for you. So I put the horn by the horn. I was like, okay, let's see how we can go from here. I was pushing, but fortunately, the immigration thing was pulling me back because they kept on asking some questions I don't have an answer to. So I pushed that toward 2021. And then one thing after my class, one thing I refused to do was, Ahmed, I have no other alternative, no second options. This is what I want to do. And I'm going to give everything it's going to take. And then I decided not to lose touch with KiawiTech family, especially community. So, of course, I celebrated. I must tell you, I've witnessed almost everyone that had ever gotten a job in this sweet hot seat. I was always there sharing them, and I knew my time was going to come. So I never give up. And another thing I did for myself is I never missed Tuesday webinar. Never. I have never missed one. I've always been there to make sure I get myself, updated and updated what is going on. Now, when I finally crossed the ordeal of this immigration things, get better, and that was I think last year August thereabouts. Then I knew I have to dust all my papers and then kickstart my readings, and that zeal has to come back. Of course, I kept in touch with some of my friends, Alfonso's, Bella, and so many of them. We talked about SQL system, we talked, and they kept on giving me this encouragement that, don't worry, you are there, you're going to get it. I said, okay, fine. Thanks for this encouragement. So like there, and we're there, we're moving on. So when I decided to join, and I spoke with Alfonso's, I need the class to join. I need something to do. So, and I get in touch with Emmanuel. That was before the Open My Letter class about to be, starting. So we're doing one-on-one with some of us, and from there, one-on-one Open My Offer Letter class started. That class is like a revisional class for me. So many things I've missed, so many things I've forgotten. We just, coming back, and I knew, yes, I think I'm getting there right now. So, as being advised, continue, aggressively applying day and night. If it's part of me, if it is SQL, it's very cool. If it's anything, I was just pushing it, and over time, of course, getting a lot of feedback, a lot of rejections. I don't even get to me. I just pass it on. A lot of things were happening until finally in November. Just like I said, I started assiduously around August, September, and by November I got the job. So it was an interesting one.
I could hear that word, get a job.
I landed it. I was the day it came, I never expected it. That doctor used to say it, that email, that call. Yeah. I never expected it, but it came. Boom. Wow. That's how it be. Yeah, I don't know. So it's like, wow. Really? Okay. I called John. John was there 24 hours with me, day and night. John is our KiawiTech.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's clap for the mentor. Yeah. Let's clap for the mentor. These are the people
John,
that make this happen.
Yeah. John, day and night, anytime. If I call him John, say, Ahmed, hold on, I'll get in touch with you. He accepted me, and between me and my other colleagues here in Canada, he took me like a baby. He nursed me, he gave me so many things. Okay, yes, a lot of encouragement. Yeah, you can do it. Let's get it done. So, and then another thing that I know people I want to give thanks to again. Of course, so many people in the community accepted it. When people talk, you don't know who is listening. I pick a lot of words. I pick a lot of things from my junior, from my senior, from every angle, and I make sure I pack everything together and is making good news for me today. It's been a rough and at the same time ended up being good. The bottom line, as we all know, is never give up. I refuse to give up. And I realized the fact that SQL is not something you had another thing to. If you want to do SQL, if you want to be a DBA, be a DBA. You can't be a DBA and be other things. It may not work. Though I don't know for any of that, but for me, it refused to work. And I've noticed that it has never worked for any other person. You can't add anything to it. If you want to do SQL, especially for those of us that are about to join the class now, you have to be dedicated. You have to be consistent. And at the same time, they say consistency is a key to success. So if you are very consistent about it, dedicated on it, and do your hard working, forget it. The job the interview that will land you that job may not be the one you even expected. May even be the worst one. So don't get discouraged if you don't perform very well in an interview. Just keep pushing. Just keep continuing. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of jobs out there for everybody. Up to today, my company, they're still looking at, can we get something? Can we get more or something like that? But the discussion is still on. If I get something out of that, I'm going to push it forward to this community so we all can benefit from it. So that's just it. I say big thank you to Brian, Chongwine, Barbara, because I know we started with them, then all the senior DBAs, all of you. Like I said, when you talk, you don't know who is listening. All of you. When you do your hot seat, I was there listening. It was very, very, very interesting. So I keep adopt a lot of information from everybody. So thank you very much. Above all, thank you, Doctor. I want to say a big thank you to you for this wonderful community you've been able to create for all of us. It's a platform. They say if you say a change life, it's an understatement. This that DBA money and you will feel it. I've not started texting it. I'm expecting my own from this Friday. And it's going to come and I'm going to say a lot of things. So thank you, Doctor. Thank you for everything. For most of you who have not, for maybe Doctor has forgotten, benefited from his scholarship. He said, I have to pay all this amount of money. I said, Doctor, come on, I don't have this amount of money. And he said, okay, Ahmed, I give you a scholarship on this. And here I am today. What I've been able to achieve today, what I've been able to impact my life and impact on my family, what he has contributed is more than what is expected. So I want to say a big thank you for you. I appreciate you, God. Thank you very much for you. And I want to encourage every one of us, please. Martin was saying something about if you have not been able, have you talked to have you been able to change somebody's life? Have you been able to help anybody? Look, if you don't know an answer to that, the answer to it is this. Especially those of us who have passed through KiawiTech, make sure you spread the gospel.
That's right.
Spread the gospel, talk to someone. Just make sure you convince someone. It has a ripple effect. You have changed a lot of lives. Let that person come and be dedicated, support the person, and let the person land the job. You will never forget it. Thank you, Martin, for that wonderful opening speech. Very encouraging. Thank you so much, and thank every one of us. My question, somebody was asking a question about what kind of questions I was asked. Most of my questions during my interview, I think about my interview is in 4 sections. I had 4 rounds. Of course, the first one was technical, and the second one was also technical, and the third one was the third and fourth was just a soft skill. And it was extremely, it's like what the question they are asking is an application questions. How are you applying whatever you have known? Yes, I have a situation, kind of a scenario questions. I couldn't remember most of it today because the joy of landing the job has overcome every tension in me that time. So, but it's most of the questions I was asked is scenario questions based on scenario. So learn something, try and create a scenario. try. If you don't know anything, listen to senior DBAs. If you don't know anything, copy the way they say it. Some of them, I copy them the way they say it. I go back to do my little research and, you know, I polish the English. And when something like that comes up, I asking you, what have you done in your job that your manager, you know, pats you the back, say, yeah, you've done greatly well. Think about something. That's an open-end question, you know. Think about, you know, what I've been able to do. Configuring SQL alone, proper configuration, following the Microsoft practice, best practice, it's something very great. And if you're able to polish it and say it the way, you know, you're going to convince your interviewers, of course, they're going to like it. And I expected to pass all questions during the interview. Do your best, put in there, show character, you know, show the zeal that you needed this job, and you wanted to, you know, be part of the dynamics team they are building. Mm-hmm. And fortunately for me, unfortunately for me today, Doctor, remember when you taught us about SSIS?
Yes.
Today, I had a call, I had a ticket that Ahmed, please, I have issue. My manager was telling me, my manager knew nothing about it. Nothing. I was like, okay, Ahmed, I have this issue about SSIS package. Jobs are failing. How are you going to go about that? I said, okay, confidently. I said, okay, bring it. Let's see what it looks like. Believe me, I don't know what I'm getting my head into. But when we started, that idea started coming in. ETL, that's what is just in my head. You know, exporting, transloading, and all. We just come in and transform and loading it. We just coming in, and I was just pium. When I tested it, and it was, when I done, and it ran. So, wow, I kept it there. I didn't even tell him. I was like, okay, I just do other things. You know, they waste my little time, and I didn't. I just mailed him down. I'm done. It was marveled because they've been on this since December 29. Mm-hmm. Nobody could have an answer to it. December 29th, up to today, until I got it, sorted. I didn't say I know everything, but at least I was lucky to have they give me something that I know.
All right.
That's just my little story anyway.
Thank you so much, Ahmed. Let's clap one more time for him before we open room for questions, please. All right, this is great. Okay, I know a lot of people have questions, comments, congratulatory messages. The room is now open for anyone that wants to say something to Ahmed or ask a question, please. And I've just put the link here on the chat for anyone that wants to join our March session. You're not yet in the forum, please feel free to click on the link and you'll be able to join our next coming WhatsApp forum. We have a WhatsApp forum for that if you want to be part of it. All right, so please, anyone has a question or comment for Ahmed? Let me first of all even start by with mentor. John, are you here?
Yeah, Doc, I'm right here.
Yes, please. Definitely. Oh, okay. Yes, sir, definitely this cannot go by without giving you a chance because of the great work that you're doing for our trainees over there in Canada. John is also one of our trainees, now a mentor that is also from Canada. Please, John.
Thanks, Doc. Thanks a lot. I mean, I don't really have much to say about Ahmed. I just want to say that I want to also start by congratulating everyone here today. I mean, everybody who's made it, who've had a job today. Big congrats. Welcome to the DBA world. We're always excited to have the newest DBAs in town. And we're always very excited to reach out, to help out, sorry. Well, I just want to say, Ahmed, when Ahmed told me he had an offer, for some reason, I always feel like I'm always very strong and very hard. I always try not to be very emotional. I always tell myself, well, it's hard for me to shed tears, but for some reason, when Ahmed told me he had an offer, I was so excited that I found myself shedding tears. And I was like, wow. Yeah. I just don't want to make the story too long. The time I had with Ahmed, we worked together as a friend, as a brother. And I just want to say that, I mean, he was really down to earth, very humble. And he told me up front that, you know what, just hold my hands and get me there. That's all. And we made it work together. I mean, the days he would come up with his job description and the offers, whatever it is, and we will look at it together. It wasn't like I was feeding him all the information. I wouldn't say that. To be honest, I'll say that we work together. We reason out things together. And most of the time, he was really willing to go extra miles. Like Ahmed would work, you know, right. I mean, we have time difference. I'm in Edmonton, Alberta. He's in Ontario, Toronto. Sorry, I'm mixing it up here. But I think it's about 3 hours difference though. So when it's like 9 o'clock my time, it's like what time there? Midnight, something. And Ahmed would stay up. He doesn't show any signs of wanting to let go. He was always willing to stay back and achieve what he needed. Like, you know, and one of the things that really motivated me with Ahmed was his dedication. He was consistent. He always, you know, he was very humble. He would always come back and say, hey, he wasn't ashamed. He wasn't ashamed at all. He would say, hey, this thing, I don't understand this thing. Can you rephrase it to me? Can we take it slowly? Can we do this again practically? And I really like that because, I mean, it makes it easier when you open up. If you open up and say, hey, I don't know this thing, it's better than for someone to say, hey, for you to assume that somebody knows something when the person doesn't know, right? But Ahmed was always that kind of person that would say honestly to your face, like, John, I need you to take me one day on Sunday. Let's take 4 hours, 5 hours. I want you to break this thing down to the lowest level so I can understand. And that's exactly what we did. We worked it out together as a friend, and at the end of the day, we're all happy. So Ahmed, I just want to, you know, wish you well in your new job. And
Thank you.
Of course, you and I have been talking. So
Sure.
do not hesitate. And anybody else in KiawiTech, you can always reach out to anybody as well. And I know they're willing to help out. That's the spirit. So just keep it up. Just want to keep it short. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, John, and thank you so much for everything you're doing. This is a second trainee that has been under your mentorship, and we're celebrating them today. It shows how much dedication you're putting to see these people succeed. Mentors are the backbone of this community. Ahmed, just like you were a mentee, right now we expect you to be a mentor. Every single one of us here was once helped by someone. So we hope that this chain will continue as you're being helped. So will you also dedicate your time to help other people? And there's one person here that really was very, very instrumental during your training as a co-trainee, and also someone who depended so much on you. I would like you to actually hear a word from me. Alfonso, if he's really here today, I would like you to say a word. And I know how many times you guys will call me on a Sunday evening or Saturday afternoon, struggling with some important questions, and you and Ahmed were always there together. How do you actually feel today? Are you there today, Alfonso?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, when I got my offer, I spoke with Ahmed for a few, and I told Ahmed, look, Ahmed, I'm never going to fully celebrate this thing without you having an offer. This thing is not going to be complete because I know what we went through. We borrowed Zoom link. It was Saturday afternoons, 2 of us, then we became 4, we became 6, and it was day by day, step by step. So, I mean, I'm really, really, really happy. I mean, just to let you know that it's been a very, very great pleasure for me, and inspiration to the others of Batch 8 who are still in the lobby. I mean, I know it's just a matter of time, they will soon come in, but it should all tell us that there is no way we are giving up on this. No way. The only way you can give up is to cut out from the community. No, don't attend webinars, switch your phones off, stay out of this WhatsApp. Then but once you stay in here and participate, trust me, it's just a matter of time. So, Ahmed, congratulations once more. And I have 2 questions for you.
Please do.
The first question is, I mean, you can begin from anywhere. You can start from the first question or the second one. So the first one is, what was your major challenge during the entire process? That is the first question. That will help others who are still applying. Second question is, we were batch 8, and it's something very, very psychological. If you're in batch 8 and batch 9 comes and people are picking jobs, batch 10 comes and people are picking jobs. Now they're training batch 11. You know, psychologically, if you're not mentally very strong, it begins to tell you like there's something really wrong with me, like what's going on here? And you have to really man up. If not, you will lose it. So how did you overcome that? Because I want you to share the little secret so that those from batch 8 who haven't gotten jobs, I mean, batch 9 is still very fresh, I know. I remember just recently somebody from batch 6 got a job. So
yeah,
I mean, just share your little experience. I'm talking of on behalf of batch 8. And just share your experience, how you managed to bridge that little gap, and what was your major challenge during your interview process.
Doc, can I add a question to that so that he just jointly answer?
Okay. If
yes.
It's a joint question, then link to that.
Yes, it's a joint question, and for 2 reasons. Because I was also batch 8.
Okay.
So yeah, but first of all, I want to quickly acknowledge the fact that, have you noticed, those of you that know Alphonse, that he's looking more handsome now?
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Don't do this to me.
Those that knew him, if Churi was here,
I mean,
he looked a little different.
It's the mindset.
It seems like the dollar is washing him differently. I don't understand, but I'm glad to see you looking that way, brother.
Thank you, sir.
I really love that. But yeah, and again, congratulations, Ahmed. We were in batch 8 together.
Thank you.
And I didn't know Ahmed, but guess what? One day my phone rang from a Canadian number, and I was he said it was Ahmed. So what am I saying? One of the core things in this community is reach out. Reach out to somebody. And it's very important. But the question I wanted to add to Alphonse's own, which may help before so that Ahmed can just answer it as a whole, is that I'm a little bit curious. I understood you mentioned something about SSIS. At the beginning of all our batches, we usually give a course structure that starts from A to Z, and we promise you that at the end of 6 months, this is what we're going to cover, and we're going to give you this. And with all these that we're giving you A, B, C up to Z, it's going to be able to enable you land a 6-figure job. Please, there are people here that are in the upcoming class that wants to know how rich, how poor, how extensive, how tiny is that cost structure, and how did it help you across the journey, even though you have to answer the difficulty part, the challenges part of what in the question that Alphonse asked. So I thought that ties together so that you can be able to do an evaluation of both your challenges and your successes based on the course content that we gave you at the beginning. Thank you.
All right, Ahmed, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you very much. I want to start from the last questions, then I'll build it up from there. The course material, of course, it's well detailed. As far as I'm concerned, it's well detailed. If it is well detailed and you yourself, you don't harness it, you don't work on it, it's nothing. So what happened is the fact that, yes, when we got all those materials, and what I knew I was doing was to make sure that, yes, I have to make use of all these materials. It's well detailed. By the time we start the interview, you understand the fact that, yes, what they were asking me, or what they might be asking anybody that's being interviewed, by the time you start talking to them, you are well grounded. There's nothing, no difference there. When people give testimonies that, yes, when we got to work, it's the same thing, it's not fallacy. They're not cooking stories here. These are facts. And your fact and figure can never lie. It's there. By the time I started, when I opened the SSIS, boom, it's the same thing. It's not different from what we are, doing at KiawiTech. I was amazed when Dr. mentioned when we started 2 years ago that the enterprise's SQL sale is about $13,000 or $14,000 or $15,000. Really? When I got to my work now, they were asking and talking about the same license costing about $20,000 to $25,000. So we, that's to tell you, if KiawiTech has invested that kind of money, a lot of money like that in a software, it's sort of materials that will help you, so that we will not go to work and see something different. So what we've been taught, what we've been given in terms of school materials to read, to get you to to push you to that finish line is well detailed. Nothing more, no more, no less. That is what I can say about that material. It's okay here. Look, people are not only giving you those resources or exposing you to those resources alone. They put you through how to go about it. They navigate you through. And what else do you want? This is when you say we have an hand-on. This is an hand-on training. Hand-on training. So that by the time you go into that real market, when live data start flowing up and down, it's not going to be an issue to you. It's not going to be strange to you. When I resumed a couple of weeks ago, my manager was behind me and he was asking me to, Ahmed, do this, do that. I was just flowing, pa, 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 pa. I did not even feel anything because I'm used to what he's asked me to do. So practical. That's what I can say to those who are coming. Once you have the resources, make sure you don't do without SQL per day. Every day you must do SQL. SQL is such a jealous thing. You leave it for one day, you leave it for a couple of days. So make sure you are with that particular SQL. Don't leave it alone. So the difficulties, talking about how I was able to, surmount those challenges when about 2 or 3 sets finished, done before me, and then yet my sets or myself, I'm yet to, get a job. What happened to me? This is what I was able to, the strategy I adopted. I never allow anything to bother me. I knew what is happening. I knew the challenges I'm going through. And I knew the fact that, yes, I have no other second options. This is all I wanted to do. Okay? So when those challenges were coming, I now prioritize it. One thing the sacrifices I will do for myself is to give up.
That's right.
And I refuse to give up. So the fact that I refuse consistently that I will never give up. So I now face my challenges, my domestic challenges, immigration, so to say. Every one of us should be able to understand. So I never allow it to get into my schooling thing. I tried a couple of interviews shortly after we finished, but it's not working. So I now slowed down a little. Okay, so I faced that. And when God helped me, then we were able to get that, like I said, last year, August. Done. I have no other issues. I was working and I knew, look, I have to give up. I gave up jobs. I didn't do anything. I just have to dedicate myself to this. And this is what I want, day in, day out. With God, and everything was okay. So during my there isn't any much there, because I knew, like I said, I've witnessed so many people giving testimonies. I've listened to so many senior DBAs in this community, and I knew the fact that, yes, something like this is going to come. So when I attend, of course, your first interview, it may work for someone, it may not work for others. Mine didn't work for me. It was a woeful one. And from there, I started developing it. Start taking interviews. Good, bad, start taking interview. From there, you will learn. So that was how I was able to, overcome all these hurdles. One thing, I never allow it to get into me. Once it comes, I just, wave it with my back of the hand and I move on. I never lose focus. I make sure I'm consistent about what I wanted to do. I never lose focus. Just face it. This is all I wanted, and this is one that's going to change things for me for good. So I kept on, keep consistency, and I focused about what I wanted to do, and I continued to do it. So maybe that was what helped me, and I believe that was what really happened.
Okay. Thank you, Ahmed. Let me just quickly add one more question to that. You coming all the way from Canada, originally from Nigeria, traveled to Canada, and having all the, now some of the people listening to you here might also be from Africa, in Nigeria, or wherever they might be listening to you. What advice will you actually give them if they're actually still considering to join this training? Just brief, please. What advice will you actually give them?
Yeah, my advice is this, and my advice is practical. Of course, you are aware I have some students that have joined the class already. I've just talked to someone today. He's going to be part of those who's going to join in the match. Mm-hmm. That's to tell you that, yes, the advice basically is this. If you want to do this, please don't be lazy about it. Don't be lazy. No, don't be lazy. There's no food for lazy man. Not only in Africa, anywhere in the world. Don't be lazy about it. If you spend money, you spend your time, it's all hard working. Just keep up, because hard work is going to pay at the end of the day. As they say, consistency is the key to success. If you want to succeed in it, don't be lazy. Just keep working hard and you're going to get it. Don't allow, internet, I don't have internet, I don't have this. If you want to do it, make sure you buy a lot of bundles of internet, because it's going to take a lot of, eat a lot of your internet, and it's going to, affect your sleeping, because we have a time difference. You can see when my mentor was talking about time difference, 3 hours from where we are the same Canada, where is 3 hours different from me. But I don't mind. I'm ahead of him. When it's 7 o'clock, I'm about 10 o'clock here, and we can work for 5 hours. Dead in the night. I don't care. Let's keep continuing. If you say he's tired, it's okay. Let's stop from here. That is what keep me going. Keep the hard work going. Don't be lazy about it. Be consistent about it. If you don't know, if you do not know, nobody's an island. Please network. Please network. Look for anyone. Don't look for age. Don't look for color. Don't look for anything. Make sure you network and you get the answer. I can assure you in this community.
Thank you, Ahmed. In view of time, we might have to stop the questions here. I just want to have one conclusive segment to give you. Now you've gotten a job, and listening to you shows exactly what we've been preaching about here. Coming here in the community, not isolating yourself, speak to people, get yourself involved. Even though it took you so long to get the job and you never gave up, you were committed. I always say, if you finish this training and you're not getting a job and you isolate yourself, it is very, very difficult to become. You need to surround yourself with people who speak the language, with people who are willing to testify and also help uplift your spirit and keep you going. And actually, you being a recipient of the Kiawi Foundation Scholarship, I'm so happy to really see you being here today with a life being changed from this little support that we give out there to really make sure that every one of us actually gets to the finish line. This is some of the things that really make us going when we see people like you go through this and they succeed. So I want to say congratulations to you. Again, these people believe in you. You know what we stand for. One of our major core values here in the community is the word integrity. That you are going to do the right thing even when no one is looking at you.
Sure.
Now, these people believe that you are going to do it. It's not all about a 6-figure. You have to go in there and put in the work. Consider it as a stepping stone. Get in there and achieve higher heights. We'd like to see you one day as a CEO. To call you as our alumni, being a CEO of Bank of America or one of the top companies out there. Why not? It's possible. All is in your mind. You need to dream big and work hard to achieve that. With that, congratulations. And
thank you very much.
Know the community is there for you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and there will definitely be someone to help you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ahmed, please. Thank you. All right.